my proudest moment was getting to walk across the top of the bridge all the way from New Jersey to New York City, walking up the cables, over the tower, through the mid-span, and then up over the New York Tower and back down. That was really awesome.
Welcome to the Onsite Podcast. We chat with contractors, educators, industry professionals about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's fucking get into it. All right, welcome back to the Onsite Podcast. Today we have one of the contractors from inside the community, Nick Elliott with SunBuilders out of Cincinnati. Super excited to get into this with you today. Nick is a newer contractor in the community, and him and I have been working together for just over a month now. You know, I've kind of been sharing some Instagram strategies, a few different things with him. Just a super talented dude, got a cool creative brand, and I'm excited to dig into this with you today, Nick. Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. Excited to be here. Excited to do it.
Awesome, brother. Well, hey, Nick, let's not bore everyone with a bunch of pre-intro drama. Let's just dig right into it and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So my name is Nick Elliott. I'm the owner and project manager of SunBuilders. We're a general contracting and construction management company operating in greater Cincinnati, Ohio. We do some residential remodeling work and also try to target supporting local small businesses with their construction needs, primarily for tenant fit out work.
Cool. So a lot of commercial residential projects, primarily just for business owners, where you can service either their home or their business. Tell us a little bit about like personal life. Like I think you're married, you've got kids. What's going on with that situation?
Yeah, married. We've been married for 2 or 3 years now. It's really all a blur. We've been together. We've been together for so long, and then we were finally just like, well, let's just get married, and that's what we did.
There we go.
Yeah, we have 2 kids.
Cool.
4-year-old Remington and a 1.5-year-old Topanga.
Oh, I love those names. Who came up with the names?
I came up with Remington, and she came up with Topanga.
I love that, dude. That's cool. That's unique. Those are not normal names.
No.
You know, Nick is a normal name. It's just like a super simple name. Brandon, boring name. But no, dude, that's cool.
You should hear their middle names.
What's the middle name?
It's Remington Star.
Okay.
Loosely after Ringo Starr.
There we go.
And then Topanga Stone to give her a little bit of a hard edge.
Topanga Stone Elliott.
Yeah.
There we go. I love that, dude. Well, that's exciting. You came in through JobTread. So JobTread's, just legendary software. So many great tools and resources inside of it. So many of the contractors that we work with use this incredible product. How long have you been using JobTread for?
Not quite a year.
Okay.
Yeah, and I found it through QuickBooks. My accountant got me set up on QuickBooks. I needed some more kind of construction specific software, especially around estimating and cost control. Mm-hmm. And that led me into JobTread. And then I realized it has all these other functions too that can support not only project management, but the business as a whole.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And it's been a great connecting tool for us to find people just like yourself. I'm glad we did. And I really love your brand as well. SunBuilders. You'll see you've got the hat on there and you got the little red and orange square. Tell us a little bit. I believe your wife is a graphic designer or designer. She helped you with the creative on that?
Yeah, she's a graphic designer by trade. She's freelance. So it's pretty cool. We're both entrepreneurs in the household, creating our own path.
Fun. Yeah.
And
I love that.
Yeah, she hooked it up with this logo, build out my website, helps me a lot with Instagram and any other kind of deliverables that we have as a company.
Let's bring out the website. I think we want to share this website with everyone. So tell us a little bit about paint the picture here. What does this all mean to you? Because it's very creative, it's unique, it's different, and would love to, hear why.
So the reason behind it is, we try to differentiate our service and our builds to be more aesthetically focused, and we like to service those clients as well. So what we try to steer away from, we'll do it for the right client, but what we try to steer away from is the more traditional styling. I'll call it millennial gray, which we think the industry is kind of trending away from that now, and that's where we come in to provide some vibrancy and some color, some uniqueness.
I love it.
To our clients' projects.
No, it's great. It's great color. At the bottom there was the branding. Is that your wife's business?
Yeah, that's my wife. That should be a live link.
Yeah, click that. Let's see what that does. See where that takes us. Okay, here we go. There we go. So similar kind of vibe with the colors, brightness.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It's cool. It's different.
Yeah. So she's done all this work for local and national accounts.
I love it, dude. That's great. Well, yeah. So if anybody's looking for some creative, branding similar to this, definitely reach out to Nick's wife. She'll help you get set up and straight in the same way. So Nick, how long have you been in construction for?
I think 14 years now.
Okay. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started as a young boy, playing with a skill saw, so cut his fingers off.
I guess if you want to go back, my uncle was the first person to put a tool in my hand when I was like a teenager.
Cool.
When I was 12, my uncle owned a HVAC repair business. Okay. And in the summers, I would go out on him on service calls and just kind of be the running boy, go out to the truck, get the MAP gas, get the Freon tank, whatever it was. And I'd lug all these tools back into the basement. And
he fixed furnaces and boilers. Did he do boilers too?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Cause there's a lot of old homes where we live here around urban Cincinnati. So we'll be doing all that kind of thing. And he just kind of put this gearhead mindset into me when I was young. And I can tell you the whole story. I mean, try to kind of keep it abbreviated. So I then studied welding in high school.
Cool. My son's doing welding right now.
Spent a half day out of the classroom and in the shop welding. Yeah, kind of like participated in various trades during that time. And when I graduated, I was like, well, what do I do now? Which trade do I want to get into? And I eventually found construction management as a college program. And I was like, well, this is great. Now I can do all the trades, participate in all of them from a management level. It was awesome.
Did you go work for somebody then?
Yeah, I interned with a water plant and sewer plant general contractor. So I worked for a summer in Iowa.
Nice.
As a concrete carpenter. And then after graduation college, I was able to get on with Cincinnati's premier general contractor, which is Messer Construction. So I worked for them in the field doing layout. Then I was a field engineer, project engineer, eventually project manager. Worked there for 5 years.
Wow. How old are you? You're not even that old.
I'm 36. I'm older than I look.
No, I mean, you've done a lot. You've done a lot in a short period of time. So that's I think what's truly important. And the cool part is, at some point you decided to step on your own. And so how long have you been, on your own? And was it always SunBuilders?
I was always SunBuilders. I kind of tried to do something on the side a while back and it didn't really plan out. I wasn't fully invested like I am now. So it's been SunBuilders for about a year now. I've been in business.
Okay. So a year on your own.
Yeah.
There we go. The first year in a household of entrepreneurs grinding it out. I can relate, dude. It's a lot of work when you kind of pick yourself, I think, and you really focus on growing and developing and becoming who you want to be. It's a growth experience through the entire process. And, and we're working through that together and just trying to make sure that we can give you the best opportunities, that you're entitled to, I guess, so to speak. Like you've got lots of skill and ability. Right. And now it just comes down to getting the right opportunities along the way to really showcase your skills and abilities. And, and I know without a question, you'll get there. I know I've seen some of the work that you've done and I can see there's quality there and there's passion behind it. And I think that's really, really important. A lot of people, not everyone focuses on that element, like of the quality and the creativity behind it. They just focus on doing the work as quickly as possible for the lowest price possible. And I think a lot of clients are fed up with that, fed up with paying for it one time and then having to do it multiple other times until they get it the right way. And so I think that you'll be given some opportunity for sure in the future so that you can really showcase your skills and abilities. And you've got some great opportunities in front of you already. But tell us a little bit about what do you envision, SunBuilders becoming? It's a year into business, so I promise you it's probably going to change a little bit over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. But what do you envision it becoming?
What I have in the back of my head and what I keep reminding myself of is what I call a mini Messer. Can I say that? Can I talk about my old company on here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever I want. So mini Messer, and that's really to build on my background I've spent many hours, blood, sweat, and tears working for these larger companies, and I don't want any of that experience to go to waste. And so some of those things that I'll include are like, a large self-performance component, which could be foundations, different carpentry trades, general trades, laborers, maybe some excavation. And it's focusing on like, $5 to $10 million ground up commercial builds.
Yeah.
Where, we service business owners on those types of projects. And I understand this is a long way in the future, but that is kind of like the pie in the sky.
It can happen faster than you think. Like you've got the tools and the skills and abilities, and all you need is a client that is willing and wanting, and you just keep putting out the proof, you keep putting out the performance that you're doing, and somebody will be willing, like somebody will be wanting, that service. And, the big guys, they can be pretty expensive. They can price themselves out of the market. So, when you get the opportunity to price yourself in the market and capitalize on those opportunities, that's then when you expose what you're truly capable, what makes you different, what makes you better, what makes you unique, And so sometimes what it comes down to is offering your services at an affordable rate that you still make money as a business owner. And thus the client gets the benefit. And if the client's getting the benefit of your position of where your business is, that's great. That's fine for them. You've already done all the things. So you already have the skills and abilities necessary to do the work. You just need the person to take that chance, so to speak. And then once you do have that person that takes that chance, then from there going into, really exposing that experience, I think is really what will help you differentiate yourself and position your brand and really give you that exposure that you deserve. So, that's exciting. What would these like facilities, like the ones that you worked on, what would they be like positioned for? Like, would it be like for a service-based, business or medical, dental? Like what is it?
Medical's a big one. That's definitely a goal we have, is to complete a medical project. It could be like maybe a dental office. Another one could be like maybe a nonprofit that needs a larger facility for, they've got an office space. They need space to host events and clients. That could be one. Nonprofit, medical, larger office buildings. So maybe they're expanding. They need a ground up office build. Could be another one.
Hey, we've got an ad here. Make sure to pay attention. What's up, guys? Are you a contractor or business owner looking to take things to the next level? Well, I've got something for you. The Elite Builder Society is a community that helps contractors grow and scale. For $49 a month, you can have access to 20 group coaching calls. Look, you're probably wondering, how am I going to show up to 20 calls, Brandon? That's a lot. And yeah, it is a lot for $49 a month. But every call is recorded so you can watch it at your leisure. But you get the best experience when you're live on the call with us. Okay, at the end of every webinar, there will be a Q&A where you can ask the industry expert questions that you can implement into your business. Look, if you're ready to take things to the next level for $49 a month, go to ebsworks.com and register today. I look forward to seeing you inside the community. Those are very specific types of projects, and the route to find them is to literally just start banging on those doors, bang on the doors that are associated with those types of people, and explain to them who you are and what you do. And at some point, somebody's going to need something and they're going to be willing to have that conversation with you. And as long as we provide them with enough confidence that you're capable of doing whatever it is that they're looking for, then they'll get the benefit, because they're not going to have to pay you as much to start.
So that's one area we try to position ourselves in is, we offer the experience of the nationally ranked contractors, but we kind of like tone it down to fit these projects in the, call it $5 million range. That way you're not paying for like so much overhead for all these different estimating teams all across the country, but you really get that experience, but you get it in a smaller package and therefore a smaller fee.
No, yeah, exactly. No, and I think that that's one of the most important parts here for these people, is to see that opportunity. So, okay, so that's great. That's where you're looking to go. So Nick, now we talked a little bit about the projects that you're looking at doing in the future. What do you have currently going on? Like a little bit of smaller projects, kind of just, some service stuff. What are you working on at the moment?
So in the estimating pipeline, I've got a deck replacement that I'm looking at tomorrow, then that's kind of immediate. But also in like the design phase, I've got a design build project recently under contract, and that is for a cafe fit out just around the corner here. It's a young lady. She bought this 2-story brick building last year, and on the top floor she currently has like vintage retail where she goes and sources all these really neat, funky clothes and sells them out of this space. And then also to just like expand her business on the lower level, she wants to install a cafe to serve like hot and cold drinks and some like sort of snack like food options.
When's that project kicking off?
It's in design right now. We had a kickoff meeting with the architect last week, and he's took back some ideas, and he's going to start to sketch and create a design concept that we can provide to the owner, and then kind of get her feedback, and then tighten up the construction drawings and send it out for permitting.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. Well, let's make sure that we document that project as much as possible, because that project really will open up the opportunities for the next future, bigger projects. Once people can see that you're, actively working on those types of opportunities, they'll start to really attract and line up with you. So tell us a little bit about like your experiences. You've been in construction for the majority of your life, and in construction, everybody has had good and bad experiences. And so, I'd love to hear, maybe what's your good experience and what's maybe the bad experience that you were either fortunate or not fortunate to go through.
Yeah. So maybe I'll start off with the good experience in my career. And this one, it's still one of my more proud moments. But after I finished my master's degree in Kentucky, I moved to New York City to join my wife. Well, she was my girlfriend. Now she's my wife. Went up there, didn't really have any job prospects, but I had a little bit of savings to get an apartment going. And I looked for jobs for like maybe 3 months, and I wound up having 4 offers at the end of those 3 months. It was really, really neat. And the one I chose was to work with Skanska USA Civil, and I got the opportunity to work on the George Washington Bridge. They're doing a major rehabilitation of it. And so my proudest moment was getting to walk across the top of the bridge all the way from New Jersey to New York City, walking up the cables, over the tower, through the midspan, and then up over the New York Tower and back down. That was really awesome.
How old were you when you did that?
I was 28.
Wow, dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
What an experience.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like these crazy opportunities or these milestones that take place in our life, really just give us the fuel and motivation. Like, I don't know what part of that really fuels you, but like, the fact that you brought it up as, a proud moment and experience, I can definitely relate with just cool experiences that I was blessed with when I was younger in construction. And that stuff really just like lights you up, like it's a memory that you got to cherish. It's a moment that you get to share with your kids. And I talk about this stuff with my kids. Like my son's 8, are going to be 18 actually this month. And he doesn't care. Like, I think it's cool, but he's not fully there, but he's just starting to show interest. Like, he'll start to ask me questions about some of these things. And so unfortunately it takes, 17 years. 18 years for them to show interest in it. But you've got these stories, and you're going to build more stories, as you progress and as your kids, get older and stuff. And so, just continue to celebrate those little victories along the way. Because I think most people just really struggle with identifying those milestones that happen. I think there's so many more that we probably go through on a daily, and we just don't really promote them ourselves. Like, there's so many life experiences that we get to go through. Like, that's a super cool experience. Like, I'm envious of that, like I would love to have experienced that, but that's your experience, and it's cool that you got that. So that's one of the cool ones. Any other cool experiences that you want to share with us that you've been able to partake in?
I mean, there have been many just really awesome projects to get to be a part of. I love my time in healthcare construction. That's really neat. It's really a niche service, a niche product where you have to understand the needs of like the nurses and the providers that are going to use that space. In turn, you're able to support the well-being of the patients too. So I really like that too.
Cool. So you worked on like hospitals and facilities like that as well?
Yeah, renovations inside of active hospitals.
Oh, wow. Okay. Active hospitals too. So that's even more challenging. You're navigating around, active patients, active nurses, doctors, caregivers. That's complex because obviously like there's a hazard with construction, there's mess, there's dirt, there's debris. And so really, understanding how to control environments and airflow probably also is really big importance. So that'd be a cool experience for sure.
What's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying this episode of the On-Site Podcast. So here's the deal. We want to grow this show and we need your help. It's simple. Pay the tax, share the show. That's it. Let's get back into it.
I don't really like to focus too much on the bad, but like, is there a life experience that kind of, taught you something, I guess, that you've gone through?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bad experiences, but you try to learn from all of them, and you do, whether or not you realize it or not. And the one I'll offer is like when I was young, I was in Iowa doing that internship, and the site superintendent was training me on how to use a total station for doing construction layouts. And I remember him telling me something that was just really, really simple about how you set up the tripod. And I remember looking at him just like rolling my eyes, like, why are you telling me to do this? But then in reflecting on it, I was like, that's actually a really good tip. It's like something you should always do. But I just remember being young and dumb, and I guess thinking I knew everything when I didn't. I was 20.
Yeah. I mean, I was telling my son, so my son, I mean, he's 18 still, or turning 18 this month. So I call him 18, but it's crazy because I've started to see him really shift his desire for construction so much more lately. We might be pissing around in the garage or doing something together. And I noticed that he does the things that I wouldn't normally think that, a young apprentice would be interested in doing, like cleaning up, organizing the tools, preparing, the space like that. I told him, I was like, your job is as a young apprentice is to figure out what the next move is and get the next tool ready to go before that person even asks for it. So you need to be a mind reader, essentially, in the greatest way possible. And you need to be fun. You need to be energetic. You need to, be positive. And so he started to kind of like lean into that a little bit. And I was like, I'm not going to lie. Like I wasn't the greatest at some of those things. Like I was kind of, egotistical with that too, where it's like, I don't need to learn this stupid crap, like, why would I do that? Like, why would I clean up and sweep and grab the broom? And, why wouldn't you do that? Like, you've been doing this, and he's leaning into that. And I think those experiences that we take for granted, I think like that lesson that you learned with the tripod on how to set it up. If you think back before that, like how many other lessons, did we take for granted that we just ignored or brushed off, and I think that it's a developmental opportunity for us when we kind of see those things and we can reflect on that moment, because in that moment you recognize that your behavior or your mindset disallowed you to learn in that moment, and you've been in the industry for 14 years now already. So you've had lots of life experiences where you can learn from watching other people, from growing, from developing, from just, being present in the experience. And if you would have had that same mindset, you wouldn't be where you are today. Like you would be behind, and learning is growing. Like I'm still learning every day. Like we'll always continue to learn. You have to be open to learning. You have to be, open to getting new information. The world is changing so fast with technology. It's just crazy. And we're trying to, keep our contractors at the forefront of that as well. And so, I appreciate you working with me. Dude, is there anything else you want to share with us, about your business, about anything else you want to share with us?
Nothing comes to mind right now.
All right, cool. Well, dude, I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to work with you. I take pride in the people that we work with and that we coach and that we support inside the community. And, you were just on the group call the other day. We're doing the sales call and, you had some great questions. And I think that this industry, this business is all about just learning and growing and developing and just really moving forward with a clear direction. It's great to have the skills and abilities to do the actual work, but the business side of it, I think, requires just another approach. And so, just thankful that you're in the community and that you're part of it and that you're taking this shit seriously, because I think that you'll have a greater success. If anybody wants to connect with Nick on Instagram, Nick, where do they find you?
You can find me at Sun__builders.
There we go. Oh, 2 underscores. Okay.
Yeah.
__. There we go. It's at SunBuilders __. Or sorry, at Sun__builders. On Instagram, you can connect with Nick and talk to him about his project, his brand, and anything that's going on. Dude, excited. Thank you so much for having you on today. And till next time.
I want to tell you real quick, Brandon,
Okay.
just I really appreciate your coaching. Like, I'm here as a solopreneur and trying to do it all on my own. And I've been thinking like you're almost like my fractional boss. So, you kind of need to have someone to keep you in check sometimes, or you won't always do it. And then on top of that, I really appreciate your coaching skill, and like you bring a soft skill to it, which is really comforting. Like I know you have true passion for this, and it shows. And it's not always like hard and fast rules, but it's more about like an approach and a mindset. And thanks for what you do.
Man, I appreciate that.
Short time that we've been doing it so far.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do take this shit seriously. To see other people succeed is the greatest gift you can be a part of. Like when you were able to see your kids walk or experience something, it's just a great experience. I'm not saying you're my kid or anything like that, but it's similar to that. Like it's just this like weird obsession for me that I want to see you hit this multi-million-dollar project, and we're going to relentlessly go after it until we do. We're not going to stop. And I know that you believe that you're in the right space to do that, and you've got the confidence behind you. And it's fun for me to work with people like you that show up, that take action, and that are willing to try new things. And you right out of the gate, you tried different things and landed a project. And so that's awesome. I'm excited for you, and I appreciate you propping me up there. I work really hard to try to give people a great experience. So thank you so much. But anyway, if you got anything else to share, I'm all ears. But otherwise, it's a great episode. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome, brother. Well, until next time.
All right, that concludes this episode of the On-Site Podcast. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please pay the tax, share the show. Guys, if you want to be a part of the Elite Builder Society, all you got to do is pay $49 a month. That's it. $49 a month. You get 20 group coaching calls every month. Okay? Go to ebsworks.com and register today. If you enjoyed the show, please pay the tax and share the show.